So for the one on the right side, you can see already that you have the fibers. The ones shown or drawn are that of elastic fiber and the collagen. So you can see that the elastic fibers are thinner, more darker in coloring or staining, while the collagen will have a bit larger diameter compared to the elastic fibers, and they're lighter usually. And then you have the cells around it. So you may have fibroblasts, you may have plasma cells, mast cells, macrophages, lymphocytes. We discussed adipose cells a while ago, and then you may have also eosinophils. These are the ones that are being illustrated in this illustration. So for the tissue on the left side, you can see actually the blood vessel is very pronounced here. So that's actually a blood vessel, and you can actually appreciate the RBCs inside. Then the elastic fibers are the dark blue. I think it's blue there, or black in your screen. So it's thin, long, and branching threads. So these ones, they look like hairs. And then we have the collagen, which are in this, they're brown stain. They appear brownish or orange, and then they are long, straight, thicker than the elastic fibers. So which ones are those? Pink, but they're lighter staining. Then most of the cells that you can see are the nuclei of the fibroblast. So you can see several dark staining nuclei. So those are actually the nuclei of the fibroblast. Well, if you can appreciate the reddish, it's a very good contrast in this tissue, the mast cells with the reddish granules in the cytoplasm cells. The other cells, we cannot discern it much in this picture. So connective tissue fibers, so basically you have the collagen, elastic, and the reticular fibers. So you have this illustration in your book. So we will not go into too much detail with this, but I think it's important for you to remember. For that one on the left side of the collagen, this type 1 collagen fiber actually, fibril. So you can see, just remember about the trihelix, remember about the proline, hydroxyproline, glycine arrangement. So those are the important things that you have to remember in this picture. Well, the one on the right is about elastic fibers network. So just remember more about the linkages, the networking, how they are arranged. So give emphasis on those topics for these illustrations. So connective tissue fibers, so it's another picture of the one we showed earlier. So you can see the elastic and the collagen fibers and the some fibroblasts around. So so you can see the collagen, which is lighter staining, the one appearing like violet are the elastic, and you still have the fibroblasts. I don't think I can see all these cells. It's not too clear. This is a better staining, I think, for you to see the difference between the elastic and then the collagen. So the E are pointing to the elastic fibers, while the C are pointing to the collagen fibers. And I showed you this picture earlier. So it showed you the reticular fibers of the lymphoid tissue. So you can see that they may cover they comprise or cover the whole lymphoid tissue with the capsule. They also comprise the tuberculae and the one that is in the periphery of the nodules. So this one is shown also in your books. So this is actually how many types do we have? There are 25. So which ones do you need to remember? The ones that are, you have to go through all of them, but you have to remember the ones that have significance with your clinical significance or major roles, especially with our topic for this unit. So basically the first few are very important. And then some of them would have clinical correlates, so we would have to remember them also. Not much with this group. Not much with this group. This one, because I just pointed it out that this one has roles in inhibiting endothelial cell proliferation and angiogenesis. Well, for this is mentioned because it has a clinical correlation with Alzheimer's. Then we have common collagenopathies. So these are the more common and more frequent as conditions, but you have to know the other conditions too. So these are just where you give more emphasis that you know, aside from the what collagen is involved, also the symptomatology. So you'll be identifying, because when you're faced with a patient, you're faced with the symptoms, the signs and symptoms of the patient. So you have to identify the disease, and you would also know what's the collagen or the collagenopathy that is involved. So connective tissue proper, cells. So we've been mentioning it from the very beginning, the several cells. We'll just have a short review on it. So fibroblasts, adipose cells, reticular cells, mesenchymal. So if you can see, they're more or less naming also the tissue, the connective tissue where they are mostly found. And then the others, the macrophages, plasma, special mention to the Russell bodies, the mast cells, and other wandering cells, which is
naka-record.
so for this slide, what can you see? There are three connective tissue cell types which can be shown and pointed out. So the L, there's a small L there in the middle lower portion. So that is the lymphocyte, so it's a small cell. Mostly you can see only the nucleus because there's a scanty cytoplasm around it. And then the fibroblast, like the lymphocyte, would also have, you'll usually see only just the nucleus because the cytoplasm is also very minimal around the nucleus. But if you see the shape, the lymphocyte is more circular. The other one may sometimes appear stellate, elongated, ovoid, or sometimes flattened in some tissues. So the plasma cell, you can see it's not illustrated here, but they would have usually a very nuclear halo. The nucleus would also be eccentrically located in the cell. And they may appear larger a bit compared to the other two that we mentioned. There's no eosinophils in this picture, but you will be able to identify the eosinophils because of its lobulated nucleus, the porous cytoplasm because of the acidophilic granules around it, and then the it's a WBC, so you can see it also in connective tissue sometimes. But for this sample, we don't have the eosinophils in this picture. So this is the mast cells. This was taken actually from the tongue. You can know that this is the tongue because of the various orientation of the skeletal muscles. And then the one being pointed out by the arrow is actually the muscles in the connective tissue of the tongue. So this is a more close-up view. And then special mention to the Russell bodies. So this was done by immunostaining. And then so they would appear, the plasma cells actually would undergo excessive immunoglobulin synthesis. That's why the staining is done, and it illustrates already the activity of the plasma cell. So this is a characteristic of this dendrit in the plastic reticulum. So they may appear eosinophilic, large, homogeneous immunoglobulin containing inclusions. So you can see on the right side, just a picture. It's actually a close-up view. So these are the Russell bodies. Then we have macrophages. If you read the book, you know that there are different names for the macrophage depending on where they are located. So these are just some illustrations on the left side, mentioning the alveolar macrophage, osteoclast, histiocyte, Camper cells, microglia, and intestinal macrophages. And the one on the right is just a close-up view of the macrophage. It's actually, if you can see, it's actually engulfing a neutrophil and other cellular debris. So this table is there. So remember that the macrophages have different names. Know what it's called in the different areas of the body. You know that our topic today is connective tissue. We'll be discussing about the bone. We already finished with the epithelium, that we'll be discussing epidermis in the next unit, I think. So just know how it's called in these tissues. Yesterday you had your biochem correlate, so you discussed about glycosaminoglycans. Did you discuss also proteoglycans? Not much, yes. The multi-adhesive glycoproteins? Yes? No? No more? Anyway, those, I wouldn't discuss them in detail because they were already touched on yesterday with your biochem correlate. But these tables were taken from the book. So those with significance with regards to clinical correlates, with regards to important roles, especially in our topics also with the tissue proper, and we were discussing the pathologies. Just familiarize yourself with these terms. So today we'll be having histolab, and the other half will be having their small group discussion. So for those going to have a histolab, so we have that we'll be reviewing mesenchyme tissue, which we showed the very first tissue that I showed you. Mucous connective tissue, areolar connective tissue, lymphoid connective tissue, adipose, elastic fibers, dense elastic connective tissue, then connective tissue proper with the connective tissue cells, so the fibroblasts, macrophages, and eosinophils. So these are the ones that you'll be reviewing. You have your manuals which to guide you, and we are there in the histolab if you have any other questions or clarifications that you would be needing. So thank you for today. Tomorrow we discuss